And welcome inside Studio H in Los Angeles with my widely respected friend and colleague, Chauncey Billups. Also, Paul Pierce is here. My name is Michelle Beadle.
I'm not a friend, okay.
You're my brother.
Y'all still going at it.
Full disclosure, we're going to be honest. The show you're watching right now, this was a 15-point underdog to even exist 48 hours ago, but like the Warriors, we're working on Friday, Game 6 against the Clippers. We're excited about it. We wore our best. Warriors probably a little less excited. Clippers led. I mean, you thought you did. They led by their 2 Sixth Men of the Year candidates, two: Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell. That's how we got here. Lou Will, 33 and 10. Harrell with 24 more of those in 27 minutes. And Warriors travel back to LA, Game 6.
That's my fault. You know, I got to have the guys ready to play, up 3-1, coming off a couple of road games. I didn't have them on high alert. Human nature. You know, you win a couple on the road, you get a little happy, a little comfortable, and you lose your edge. That's all it takes. So we'll have our edge back tonight.
It was a perfect storm for the Clippers last game. You know, we came out with energy to start. I mean, I wouldn't say, but more so just a little bit more relaxed than we were the 2 games before. And they made shots to start the game. When you give a team like this, drives to the rim, offensive rebounds, kick out threes, you know, they're already playing loose and free. You know, that just gives them more confidence. So we just got to do a better job starting off the games of doing the little things.
Little things. Look, Warriors are used to making history, but it's not usually like this. They've been on the wrong side of 2 of the top 3 playoff upsets in NBA history, both of those in this series against the Clippers. It's insane. And how did we get here?
Well, you heard KD say they came out with horrible energy. That he wasn't talking about the offense. Everybody has energy on the offensive end. He was talking about the defense. I just feel like they don't have a healthy respect for the Clippers and what they've been able to do. And if you look at some of these plays, I mean, they're getting layup after layup, dunks. There was not even a contest on that three-point shot. And not only that, Patrick Beverley gets 14 rebounds. They're not playing hard enough. And if you look at last year when they played against Houston, it was the gritty, grimy, tough-minded players that changed the series. And the Clippers have a team full of it. Lou Will's having it his way. Montrez is having it his way. I mean, KD was right. It's a perfect storm, but it's mainly because they haven't come to play on the defensive end.
All right, so then what's the issue here? Is it some sort of a game plan situation, or is this a desire problem?
It's definitely a desire problem because the defensive system is in place. When you're a championship team, you've been one of the top defensive teams for years. It's about the effort you give. You got to, and I remember what Doc used to say, it's not our system. The system isn't broken. We're not going to change any coverage. You just got to do it better. You have to do it harder. And that's all desire right there from the Golden State Warriors.
Just so you guys know, in the 2 wins that they've had so far in this postseason, the Clippers have averaged 132 points a game. That's 27 more than in their losses. They're gritty and they're not backing down. The bench, of course, has been the story. We've talked about it so much, averaging better than 70 points a game on 68% shooting. What's more impressive here? Is it the grit and the dog in this Clippers team, or is it the fact that the Warriors somehow find themselves in a Game 6?
To me, I've been so impressed with the Clippers. What they've been able to do. At the start of this series, I'll admit, I thought that it would be a 4 or 5 game series max. But they've been able to really kind of put things together. But to me, I think they'll lose this series, Beads, but what they've done will last a long time. The culture that Doc Rivers, Jerry West, and Lawrence Frank are setting them up for a huge, huge summer this summer in free agency. Because all those free agents, they're watching this too. And they're looking for a destination with guys that are already ready to go. So that's the big play to me.
What's Doc like in there right now? You know him.
Doc is giving them the ultimate confidence. You know, if they didn't believe before, they believe now after getting 2 wins. And Doc has them mentally thinking they can win this series. Because like Chauncey said, nobody had them going. Everybody had them getting swept, or maybe 5 games. Now that they got 2 games under their belt, and both of those games were in Oracle, one of the toughest places to play over the last 4 or 5 years, they believe now. They got a home game. They feel like if they can get to a Game 7, anything can happen. I mean, like you said, the grit is there, and Golden State hasn't stepped up to the toughness of the Los Angeles Clippers.
It's been an interesting first-round matchup for sure. It might have been the team they least wanted to see, but here we are. And when a dynasty flirts with disaster in the very first round of the playoffs, it's a big, big deal. And when it's a big, big deal, Doris Burke is on the case. Doris, what is happening over there?
Hey, Michelle, it's interesting. I just sat down with Steve Kerr, and he was telling us how impressed he is with Lou Williams, both at his size and the particular role he plays off the bench and the ability to carry the team. And this morning, we sat down with Klay Thompson and talked about the challenges of contending with Lou Williams and what makes him so difficult to deal with. So let's listen to Klay.
Lou is great at probing. He's very slippery with the ball, and he can make very unorthodox shots. So when you play a guy like that, they can, have you a little off balance. A lot of things you could do, maybe a hard foul or trap the ball screen, or throw different guys at him, throw size, throw quickness at him. Just anything to disrupt their rhythm. Make them defend as well. You got to put them in action on the offensive end.
In each of the Clippers' 2 wins, Lou Will has had a minimum of 30 points and 10 assists. Obviously, he's done a great job carrying the team. And consider this, guys, of the 16 teams in the playoffs, defensively, the Golden State Warriors just 11th. Steve Kerr told us our defense has got to be great tonight. Michelle?
Doris, enjoy the game. We'll have more on that later, including you two saying no to Klay as he was talking. Have fun down there. Lou Williams looking to have another big night, keeping this team alive. They are not intimidated or impressed by anything at this point. And the Rockets, on the other hand, they're clear quickly and flew to the Bay for the second round. Did anyone tell them that the Clippers and the Warriors still have another game? It's disrespectful. Woj with more on that coming up next. Stop talking to me. Tonight's Rising Star brought to you by Mountain Dew Ice. Clippers rookie point guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, despite losing, scored 25 points in Game 4. That's the most by a Clippers rookie in postseason history. A lot of those. We have a Game 6 tonight, and a powerhouse second round starts the weekend. But like any season, playoff season is Woj season. The NBA world keeps on turning. Here's the man with answers to any question you could possibly have. He's going to make us a little smarter, Woj. And I'm starting with the Lakers, obviously, because that's where we are. The search for their new coach. Where are we?
Michelle, Lakers ownership met with Monty Williams, I'm told, for 5.5 hours last night in Philadelphia. He's in Toronto with the Sixers tonight. He's meeting with Suns officials about their opening. And, a few things from these interviews and meetings. One, it's been made clear to all the candidates in this process, when they, especially Ty Lue and Monty Williams, when they've sat down with Jeanie Buss and ownership, is that Rob Pelinka is going to be in charge. He's the GM, and he's going to be the leader of basketball operations going forward. And Ty Lue, I'm told, in his meeting with Jeanie Buss, really made an emotional connection with her in terms of his desire to return to the Lakers. He started there as a player, and how much the organization means to him. That goes a long way with Jeanie Buss, and having people with connections to the Lakers coming back in big roles is important. And another thing, when you're trying to get a job, being able to put together a top assistant coaching staff is important. I'm told that Ty Lue inquired with Tom Thibodeau about being his top assistant with the Lakers. I'm told that Tibbs, that's not the direction he wants to go in yet. He still wants to be a head coach in the league. He's owed some money from Minnesota. He won't be joining Ty Lue's staff, but it shows you the kind of lengths guys are going to go to here to try to impress this Laker ownership group and get this job. And it keeps on going. The story for me today has been the fact that the Rockets flew out to the Bay Area. I, along with others, am reading into that since the series isn't over yet. Are we being a little too dramatic? Is there anything to it? No, there's something to it. And listen, part of what the Rockets wanted to do in this is to kind of rile up the Clippers a little bit and say, hey, we're here. We don't think you're going to win Game 6. So we're here to get ready for Game 1 on Sunday. And what would the Rockets like to happen? They'd like to get that Clipper team a little angrier, a little more motivated. And, of course, the Rockets would love to see a Game 7 between the Clippers and Warriors back at Oracle this weekend. But the one thing that's interesting, if the Clippers did win tonight, when they go back to the Bay Area for a Game 7, I'm told that they would actually be at the same hotel that the Rockets are at. So you'd have one waiting around, one trying to ship them back to Houston. So it's there's some gamesmanship here, and that's the Rockets like that kind of stuff. I love all of this, Woj. Thank you so much. That's gonna be awkward at the gym and the elevators. What do you think about the mind games, Chance, played by the Houston Rockets? And I'm assuming Daryl Morey is a big part of that. Yeah, but if you're Houston, you're saying, listen, if Golden State takes care of business, which they're good on the road in this series, okay,
The game is Sunday afternoon. We need to get there. We need practice in the morning. We don't want to get in, fly in, and get there at 5, 6 tomorrow night and then play the next afternoon. To me, it just kind of makes sense.
Really?
Yes.
But if the series went all the way, then they'd have to fly back to Houston. If the Clippers figured it out,
no, they won't fly back to Houston. They'll just stay right there and, hang out in the Bay.
All right, fair enough. If, in fact, the Warriors close things out tonight, is this Houston Rockets team legit? Like, do they have a real shot at taking them out?
Absolutely. I mean, when you see what the Clippers have done with Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, this is going to be James Harden and CP. Clint Capella doing those things. When James Harden gets into the lane, he has the lob for Clint Capella. Those things, if you see those things open for the Clippers, how are you going to stop this duel? When you got Chris, Capella, James Harden, in my eyes, is the MVP. He had a difficult time in the first round because he had to deal with that tall monster in the middle, Gobert.
I'm not gonna.
No, Gobert.
You
But they don't have
respected
that.
it
They
for a
don't
minute.
have that there now in Golden State. They don't have Cousins to clog up the middle, so I can just see James Harden having a field day if Golden State gets past it.
His direct quote, by the way, is that you just don't see the Warriors pulling it off at all. That was your quote earlier today. Yes, no? Am I allowed to say that?
I feel like if the Warriors get past the Clippers, I don't see them beating Houston.
Dang, that's a bold statement. In the playoffs, though, a win is a win. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the fusion of two of my favorite things, the NBA and drama. The very first installment ever, opening night of Phantom of the Flopera.
Wow,
The music.
This is gonna be awesome.
No, this is going to be really good. It's ridiculous and
Chauncey
stupid, and I love
would've
it.
started this
Oh, wow.
Look who's up first, y'all. James Harden.
Oh, the man got hit in his beard. What do you want him to do?
Got hit the beard.
No, I think
I mean, the beard.
Did not touch the beard.
Oh, he hurt the beard, man. He hurt the beard.
he grabs the neck like something
Weirdest part
really
of the
bad
neck.
happened.
Okay, he got hit in the neck. See what I'm saying?
That's
Talk to him, beard.
ridiculous.
He can't be throwing that elbow on the
That's
beard
fine.
like
That's
that.
fine. If this segment lives,
He fractured his beard.
this guy's probably going to be a big part of it. Draymond Green. I'm worried about him. That seemed very.
Oh, that was a legal screen.
Illegal screen.
That was an illegal screen.
You guys
Illegal
are the
screen.
two worst human beings.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
kidding me?
Hey, Patrick Beverly's a tough, short guy.
Yes,
He's
he
strong,
is.
too. Look.
Okay, he's not strong enough to make whatever that was.
Patrick Beverly look
happen.
like somebody's uncle, man. That's
You guys
somebody's
are
uncle. That's
on the
Uncle
wrong
Pat, man.
side of defending this
That's
right
my-
now. Okay,
that's
fine. If
Uncle
you don't
Pat.
agree with this next one, I'm done with you. Blake Griffin and
Two?
the very rare twofer and Reggie Jackson. You don't get these very often, but the double flop is like a unicorn. Bam, bam.
Oh,
Oh, you can't be hitting number one from the
Are you
distance like that.
that looked like an old school.
Double rainbow,
That's
bro.
a foul.
That
That's
is
a
not.
foul.
That looked like an old school Bruce Lee movie.
Come on, man.
Are you kidding me?
That's Bruce.
Those two acted like trucks just hit
That's
both
Bruce
of them.
Leroy right there.
Bruce Lee.
You guys, that's embarrassing. By the way, please help us out with
my
these.
bad.
If you see a flop as egregious as those and those words, despite what these two are saying, please just Twitter, hashtag Flopera.
Phantom of
Somebody
the
will see
Flopera.
it.
I like
Do you
that.
like it?
I like that.
Okay, good. I'm glad you do. Bill Wolf. At the top of the hour over on ESPN, Kevin Durant and the Warriors looking to close out this first round series against the Clippers. He is a playoff powerhouse. 9 career 40-point playoff games. Among active players, LeBron
45,
James.
and they couldn't win?
LeBron James got a couple more. Lou Will, best bench player in league history. We're going to take a look at how his journey has helped create the most dynamic duo in the NBA that does not start